Hey guys, Coach JZ here from the Lifetime Athlete with this Training Tribe MasterClass. You know, we drive everything in excellence through the app, and this week the MasterClass is touching on a super important topic, and it's going to be fairly brief. In fact, we went all blue today on the whiteboard for no apparent reason, and I'm certainly not in a blue mood. But let's take a look at what really is the art of deloading. So first of all, I'll just mention that deloading is a time period. Now we do it by weeks, but you can do it in other time frames as well, where we back off a bit. And there's some magic in doing that. First of all, we think about workload. And so this is something that we're always reminding ourselves of as lifetime athletes. Workload is really the summation of the frequency of workouts. Let's say how many sessions we perform in a given week. The duration, how long do those sessions last? Most of ours are going to typically be coming in around 45 to 60 minutes, except in the summer when we go a bit longer on occasion. Intensity, what's the effort we're putting out in terms of specific parts of that workout, or even globally overall. You might say that was a very hard or intense workout sometimes, which is good to do. Density, that's one I think that's often overlooked, but the density of a workout is the compression of rest intervals or rest breaks in that training session. So it can escalate the conditioning effect, but it also can escalate that fatigue factor. Well, all of these things sum up to the volume of workload. And when we're deloading, we are reducing that. We're reducing that by some generic amount, usually about 10 to 30% is what we do in our Training Tribe stuff. And that's all based on how we run our months. So not only do we have the year broken up into a block periodization system where there are 5 blocks. All of those blocks use elements of strength, speed, power, agility, and endurance, but each block gives special attention to one of those. So right now we are in our strength and hypertrophy block, focusing on resistance training. The first week of every month, we have an introduction, or we introduce some new concepts, some new movements. We kind of go over that and make sure that everybody's getting a good start. Then we accumulate, we build some volume. Some workload in there. The third week we'll generally have our KPI test or some challenges which are a bit juicy or beefy, and that's when we intensify. And then finally we have the consolidation phase where we consolidate the gains, and that's what this deloading does. By backing off strategically, purposely, intelligently, we can then allow ourselves to recover and supercompensate and make those adaptations and gains from the stimuli that we're putting into our bodies. It's really an art form. By recovering, we can feel fresh, and that's what I'd like to mention this week because we are deloading. You're going to need to resist that temptation to seek exhaustion because the workouts are going to be similar, but they're going to be a little bit easier. And you want to have that confidence and trust in the system to know that you're going to be getting such benefits by actually going through the deload. Summing it up, really that's the secret to peak performance, and that's what all elite athletes use in systems like this. So why shouldn't we as lifetime athletes do the same? We can achieve peak performance and also minimize the risk of injury, breakdown, and burnout. And ultimately, this gives us that longevity to keep kicking ass at life for life, which is the goal of the lifetime athlete. So that's a little bit about deloading, and if you need more, you know where to find me. Thanks for joining me today.